In this episode of Food Service Worker, working in the county jail facility or Department of Corrections, we're going to talk about the chaos that you can sometimes face working in the kitchen. So, before we get started, quick disclaimer, short sentence spans. That way, people with an attention span, they can focus, hear me out, like to hear real talk about the inside spiel, about your choice to maybe know more about food service and things that go on. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, all that stuff. I don't edit any of my videos in any ways. Straight up Obama from the Obama phono with all the background noisy. And if my clothes look the same, it was recorded all the same day. I ain't wearing the same clothes in another video that I just decided to put that out there. Anyways, try to get as many videos as I can out there on the YouTuber. But let's get into this video. Let's talk about what happens on crazy days in your kitchen. So it is very important that when it comes to feed up, you are watching trays at all times, man, because if something's missing on a tray, it can be a little bit of a problem. Small, but it can be a bit of a problem. And if you run out, it can be a big problem, depending on whether you're in the county or the Department of Corrections and you're feeding probably open population. I can tell you a story about how one day, we had real beef patty burgers, little bitty ones, like real little bitty burgers. And we ran out of them. And we had to, well, I made the stupid choice of serving peanut butter baggies to these inmates. And I thought they were going to have to deploy chemical agents to calm the boys down because they were mad. And I don't blame them. So it's very important that you keep an eye on the amount of product that you have to make sure that if you are about ready to run out of food, before you even get that close, you make the decision in your head on whether you are going to go get more to make up for that. Because I can tell you now that nothing is worse than if you are working in the Department of Corrections and you are on the line serving food and you have stuff that is up there with you that you are passing out the window, something maybe like a kosher bag that may contain something valuable in it, or peanut butter sandwiches for your diabetics that may come through, or something of value, and you have to walk off that line and you are there by yourself, you are looking at a big problem you're going to put on yourself. Okay, very important that you make sure you have everything you need with you if you are by yourself, because you don't have another coworker with you that day. It's very important. And it's very important that if you have kettle cooks, the ones that cook like vegetables in a kettle or however you cook your vegetables and your other stuff, that you have hot water just in case. Because if you run out of vegetables, because sadly these guys, they just do not sometimes listen. Sometimes you may have a good crew that do listen because you have a good area you work at with in the area of Department of Corrections or the county. But if you do, at least if you have hot water boiling, you won't have to wait for this water to boil to heat something up to recook it. But if you run out of something that has to be fully cooked, like a uncooked patty of some kind, like we had happen, we didn't even have any more of those patties. We had a limited number of them. And it's very important that you make sure that those inmates don't go snatch and grabbing, because there are days when I have had, it's every day almost, that at work, we have some type of yummy dessert, and these guys will snatch and grab and complain that what if we don't have any later because everybody gets them out there and we get nothing. What's important is that they get fed and then we'll figure something out later. But the problem is these guys snatch and grabbers. So that's some of the big problems you might have sometimes is not keeping stuff locked up. It's that bad. Sometimes you have to say, I've actually had to lock cookies up, cakes up, just to keep people from stealing them when I walk away, because a CO might need something because I messed up and didn't have it already. So yeah, we'll talk about some of those things, that reason why you might need to walk away and why it's a good idea on another video though. But it's very important you keep an eye on your supply of food that you made for the day. Go over the paperwork and make sure that the inmates that are cooking have the proper amount of food that they are supposed to have for the population of that day as well. So with that being said, hopefully this video has helped you out and you got a little insight on some things that can cause a little chaos in a facility. Oh, and one other thing, if you are cooking something that is uncooked all the way, and you don't cook it all the way, like the day we had beef patties, let me tell you something, if they have a little blood in them or they are pink, the guys will lose it if they aren't cooked all the way. These guys will complain about anything and everything. So it's very important that everything that's supposed to be on that tray is on that tray if you want to avoid having a headache and ticked off COs and everybody else in the facility ticked off at you, and even your boss. I'll see y'all in the next episode, man. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you have not shared some of my videos, share some of the wild videos you think I have with some of your friends on social media. I'll see y'all somewhere in another video.